Okay, so today we're going to talk about linear equations in two variables. So, as the name states, linear equations in two variables are linear equations that contain two variables. That's very yeah, it says in the title, but it's pretty obvious. So, I'm gonna show you a couple of examples to solve this. So yeah, there are two ways that I'm going to show you of cases that you will get when you are solving linear equations in two variables. Those are gonna be y is equal to mx plus b, and the other case is ax plus by is equal to c. So these are two main cases that you will get, and they work kind of the same way. There's no much difference between the two of them, only like the approach to the exercise. Okay, so there are a couple of cases that aren't linear equations into variables, and those are going to be, I'm going to give an example. So for example, y is equal to, I don't know, x squared plus 4x plus 3. 4x plus 3. This is not a linear equation into variables because of the squared over here. We can't have square numbers on this, so this is not a linear equation in two variables. Okay, the second case that I'm going to talk to you about is y is equal to 3 over x minus 8. This is not a linear equation in two variables because this variable over here is in the denominator. So these are two cases in which those are not linear equations. The rest of the cases are mostly safe. Yeah, there are a couple of things that I'm going to mention. So now I'm going to talk about graphing linear equations with this type of equations that contain two variables. Okay, so now we're going to show how to I'm going to show how to graph linear equations using this two variable example. Okay, now very easily, this was a problem we saw the class of August 25th. So this is a very good exercise to explain the basics of graphing linear equations. Okay, so now the first thing we have to do is read. Okay, so a car travels at 40 miles per hour. Distance is represented in d and hours is represented in t. Solve and represent. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do now is that we have to find the values in x and the values in y. So basically this is the summary of this is equal d is equal to 40 t, or distance is equal to 40 miles per hour. Okay, so these now we're going to show it in a graph. So now we say x and y values. So our x is going to be this. Wait, sorry, I'm gonna use another color. Our x is going to be this, and our y is this. Okay, so now what we can do is that we can graph these. Okay, so now what we can do is that we can graph these, and we can graph these. So yeah, okay, so what you do now is that you pick any random values in X. Okay, so let's say 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. Yeah, now what we have to do is apply the given equation, which is this one over here. Okay, so we say for each one of these, we say that y is equal to 40 times x, and we're going to do that with all of these. Okay, so 0, if you want you can do the process, but I'll just go very quickly over them. So 0, of course it will be 0, 1 would be 40. It's just the table of 40 or the table of 4, so that's very simple. So 40 times 2 is 80, then 120, 160 and 200. Okay, now what you want to graph now is these sets of ordered pairs. So this is a set of ordered pairs. This is one, this is one, this is another one, this is another one, and this is another one, and these are commas. Okay, so after you pair up those sets of ordered pairs, what you do is you show them over here. And in order to do that, first we have to establish a scale. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to create a new graph in order to show properly how this exercise will work. Okay, so I'm gonna black color. When you're representing, remember that you have to use an appropriate scale. So what I'm doing right now is I am finding an appropriate scale and an appropriate way of representing these. Oh wait, that was really bad. This. Okay, so this is y, this is negative x, this is x, this is negative y. Okay, now we have to find the scale, of course. So this is 0, and let's say that this is 1, this is 1, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 5. 3, 4 and 5, and this is 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. So this is going to be 40, 80, 160, 2 and I skipped one top. Okay, 120, 160 and 200. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to find these dots. Okay, these dots. So 40 and 1 is over here, 40 and 80 is over here, this and this is over here, this and this is over here, and this is over here. And what we do now is we connect these points. Okay, we connect these points. Of course my example is not a straight line, but of course yours should be a straight line, because that's what we want to achieve with this. Okay, so after we do that, we can now do okay, now that we have our graph, kind of well graph. Now what we want to do is we want to find the slope. Yep. So the way we find the slope is by taking out 2 points. Let's pick, for example, this one and this one. So these, we're going to establish the large one as y2 and x2, and this one we're going to call it y1 and x1. And the way we find the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 over minus x1. And the answer to this, as you know, is going to be 80 minus 40 and 2 minus 1, which is equal to 40 over 1. So that is going to be our slope. Okay, so these same rules, of course, are going to apply with problems. Wait, also applies with word problems such as a x plus by is equal to c. This also applies for these exercises, of course, because it's the same procedure. You don't have to make it harder, of course. Well, in these cases, when you're working with these, when you're working with graphing linear equations, what do you always want to do is you want to isolate y. Okay, so you gotta focus on isolating that y, and yeah. So that's basically it. Okay, and now the exercises that I would recommend starting with are these word problems in page 666 and 667. These 1, 2, 3, these 4 exercises, they are very simple exercises that will help you practice better with linear equations into variables. So I hope this video was useful, and again, the next videos I'm going to make are going to talk about inequalities and how to graph linear inequalities, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.